from Seattle Coffee Gear, and today I have two brew grinders to do a crew comparison on. I've got the Solis Scala over here. I've got the Oxo Brew right here. Again, these are both going to be used for slow brew methods like AeroPress or drip, pour over, French press, your cold brew, that kind of stuff. They can get down into a range to be used with double-walled pressurized portafilter baskets for espresso, but they're not going to work for your unpressurized shots on higher-end machines. So let's get into it. These are very similar grinders from a feature perspective, so let's start running through what makes them tick. So first we've got the Scala here. You've probably seen it quite a bit in our videos. We're really big fans of it, and it does come in at a slightly lower price point typically than the Brew does, depending on what promotions are running, of course. This is going to have a timer that you can use for your dosing. The timer goes up in 5-second increments along the kind of metered dial here. So it's a little unintuitive at first, but once you understand that there's 5-second things here, it goes up to about a minute of grind time, which can actually get you through a good chunk of the hopper if you need to grind a lot of beans at once. It has conical steel burrs in it, so it's going to provide good, consistent grind quality for brew grinding, and we really like the compact footprint of this. It makes it a really good secondary grinder if you have an espresso grinder and you want a brew grinder to do dedicated brew grinding. And it's really just all around, it's a really affordable, great package for what it costs. Next, we've got the Oxo Brew here. The Brew is another really good grinder, pretty good price point. Looks really nice, the sort of stainless steel brushed casing, which still has a fair amount of plastic, but it gives it a really nice kind of modern stylized look. You got the stainless steel brushed catch bin as well, which kind of continues that look. And it, just like the Scala, it's going to have a timer on it. This one only goes up to about 30 seconds. And then with both of these grinders, they've got the conical steel burrs and the rotating hoppers for adjusting the grind setting and for burr access. So that pretty much does it in terms of features. Again, very similar when you look at them on paper. Let's take a look at the grinds they produce and hear how they sound to get a better understanding of how they actually work. So we're going to start with a coarse setting here, and I'm going to start with the Scala. This is going to be a setting you might use pretty far on the coarse side, so you might use it for cold brew or other immersion brewing methods. So I've got this set for about 5 seconds, so let's hear how it goes. All right, so we're getting pretty good consistency here. It's always a little bit hard to stay super consistent at the coarse end of the grind settings, but pretty good looking grounds, pretty consistent, and definitely of a level that you'd be able to get some great cold brew out of it. So let's try with the Oxo Brew. Right, so we can hear this one's a little bit higher pitched in terms of its sound versus the Scala, which offers a slightly lower pitch sound. Pretty similar in terms of overall noise level, but I tend to like the sound of the Scala a little bit better. And getting pretty similar amounts for similar amounts of time. It's hard to make them exact because their timers work a little differently. But pretty comparable from a speed perspective, and from a grind quality perspective, pretty comparable as well. Again, not 100% consistent when you go this coarse, but you're going to get some good grounds for your cold brew out of the Oxo Brew as well. So we're going to take it down to the medium setting and then come back and brew or grind a little bit more. All right, so I've got these on the medium setting. Let's take another look at how they go and sound. All right, so we got pretty good medium grind here. This is going to be kind of right in between your drip and pour over settings. So you might go a little bit coarser for your pour over, or you might go a little bit finer for your drip, but it's going to produce really good results either way. The Scala is really consistent in this grind range, which is one of the things I like about it so much. And the Brew is also going to do a really good job at this range. And we're going to get pretty great medium grinds from both of them. So in either case, with both of these grinders, you're going to get an excellent grind for your drip coffee or your pour over. Let's try the fine side that you might use for an AeroPress or for a pressurized espresso shot. All right, so I've got these grinders set to right around their finest setting. I don't have them all the way down to 0, but pretty close. So let's see what we get out of them. So on the Scala side, gonna get that pretty nice powdery grind. Not too much clumping here either, and this is gonna work really well for an AeroPress and will perform pretty admirably for a pressurized espresso shot as well. And by comparison here, pretty similar grind from the brew. Again, quite consistent on both of these. Really not seeing any coarse grinds kind of stuck in there. And both of these are going to be really good for your AeroPress or your pressurized espresso shot. So with that in mind, both of these grinders are going to be very similar overall. Again, the big differentiators here is the slightly lower price generally on the Scala, and the kind of more compact case size that's going to fit a little easier on your countertop or in the cupboard, and then the larger hopper and larger footprint of the brew with the kind of more premium looking case design. But both of these are really great grinders, and they're both available for a pretty great price point, and I think you would be happy with either one of them. So thank you so much for checking this video out. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button on below and get subscribed to the channel so you can get more of our videos. Thanks for watching. Yes.